ile beraber K1 vizesine başvurduk.
O ne?
Tabir ne ya? Burada evlenemiyor musun? Yani burada kalamıyorsun.
Yani istersen evlendikten sonra belli bir süre daha kalman lazım orada.
Well, we all know that this K1 visa obviously got approved because Sarper is now in LA, as we reported already on this channel. You know what I mean? But either way, though, there's a very good point here. Why do you need to go to America? Why you not get married here? And of course, if you get married in the States with the K1 visa, it just makes everything a whole lot more easier and a whole lot more quicker. So the logic does make sense why to get married in America rather than in Turkey. But let's continue though, because boy, things definitely don't end up so well in this episode for Sarper and Shekinah.
Continent ya.
I'm not eager to go, but being with you is more important for me.
Will be supporting you. The U.S. will Shekinah's family be supporting you.
This
Did
is
you
hard to
discuss
answer.
this with your family?
No.
No?
They don't ask anything to me, and they don't.
Not logical?
Yeah, like for me to move to Turkey so soon after meeting him.
Peki kızı ne düşünüyor? Yani
Ya-
senin hakkındaki düşünceleri...
Sophie is so influenced by them, you know, because they're my family, and
Aileden etkileniyor
she
diyor.
has 5.
You know what though, listen, we saw last episode, or last season, sorry, that when Shekinah's sister came to Turkey, her relationship with Sarper was not great. It was definitely horrible. But here's the thing though, when it comes to the whole idea of her family turning her back on her, again, not a nice thing to do, you know what I mean, regarding the family doing that to her. But this whole thing in terms of her child being influenced by the family, I mean, if you ask me personally, her child is more likely to be influenced if mommy is more in Turkey than she is in America. You know what I mean? Maybe if mommy stayed in America for a bit longer and spent more time with her daughter, maybe her daughter wouldn't feel so, you know, easily influenced by what everybody else says. Because at the end of the day, whoever her daughter's more exposed to on a daily basis may have more influence on her depending on her own maturity. Now, her daughter is a teenage girl, so to be fair, she is in a position where she can make her own choices to a certain degree and she can kind of weigh up the options on her own accord. But here's the thing though, her daughter has not met Sarper, so therefore she can't have an opinion on him. So I can understand why the family would be able to easily sway her to think that this man is a terrible person. But again though, this is where Shekinah could have done a better job, you know, obviously in her role as being her daughter's mother. In fact, the fact that her daughter values her family's opinion over her own mother's opinion, it kind of tells you the relationship that Shekinah really has with her child. Because if their relationship was that strong, I don't think that just because the family say X, this and that, it would, you know, it would then overwrite whatever the mom has said, if you dig what I'm saying. So really and truly, maybe that's something that she needs to look at, of why her daughter is so easily sprayed by the family. But again though, for the sister to come and meet Sarper and not like him, that's one thing. But then to go back and influence everybody else to be against him, that's just wild. Maybe Shekinah's always been that cast of the family. Maybe there's always been a sibling rivalry. Maybe this was her sister's chance to finally say, hey, look, see, she's out there doing stupid things again. Who knows? But either way though, let's continue.
Aunties. Sarper says he's willing to do this for me, but now seeing his family's heartbreak right in front of my eyes makes me afraid that he may back out.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the man said he's going to come for you, you know what I mean? Obviously, we know he came anyway, so I guess it's not that deep for us to even talk about it, is it now? Yeah. But to be fair, though, but given the fact that Sarper and Shekinah have a support system in Turkey, but they won't have one in America, kind of tells me that Turkey is the place to stay. But at the same time, on a parent side of things, regardless of that, it is best for them to go to LA. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, she won't be having any kids in Turkey because Sarper doesn't want, no, because she doesn't want it anyway. Never mind. That point doesn't make sense now. When I was going to make that point, that was based on him not wanting kids, but that's not true. It's her that doesn't want any more kids. Either way, because she's got a kid, it is better for her to be in the same country as her child. Otherwise, her relationship with her child will continue to be even more estranged, which is something that she shouldn't want if she wants to have a healthy relationship with her daughter, and if she's a good mom in the first place.
We ripped out my hair switches.
I didn't read her
My
hair.
phone out of my hand. When you
Yeah, I
asked me.
took her phone. I never harm her. I never touch her. Her phone from here, and yeah, one of their extensions from here.
So in this situation, you know, as you can see, there's been a bust up between the two, and obviously Sarper and this, obviously I shouldn't say obviously, should I? And sadly in this situation, Sarper has somehow ripped out a part of her extensions throughout this conflict where he was trying to take the phone out of her hands. Now, here's the thing. People can look at this in so many different ways, whether or not they want to see this as a domestic situation or if they want to see this as nothing but a pure accident. This is how I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna start saying domestics straight off the bat, you know, because we need some more context. But I am gonna say is that should he be in a position where he's trying to take her phone out of her hands in a unsafe manner? No. At the end of the day, if the phone is in her hand, okay, and it is not in a safe, and if the phone is in her hand and she's holding onto it tight, or she's holding it in a way that is just not really reachable in an easy way, well then the reality is this: he shouldn't be trying to take the phone out of her hand. Just what I'm saying. At the end of the day, yeah, that's just that. Because obviously when that happens, what happens is that you get accidents, and when accidents happen, well, guess what? Hair comes out, and then at that point, the conversation then gets looked at as, was it an accident, or was it this, or was it that? The way I'm looking at the conversation is a bit more different. I'm looking at more of, could have this situation been avoided? Yes, it could have, by not trying to take the phone out of her hands, given the fact that she was going to hold it with a certain grip or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Also, at the same time, it doesn't necessarily make sense how the phone and the hair kind of connected together, but I guess it depends on where she was holding her phone. Do you know what I mean? But either way though, Sarper definitely shouldn't be trying to take the phone out of her hands if she's holding it in a way that is firm. I hope all that made sense. I said a whole lot of blah 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 blah. So I was trying to really get my words out, you know what I'm saying? But we continue.
Came up. Touch it. Your life, in your new life, in your new life, in your partner.
Came over and grabbed my phone, ripped my hair extension out, and I said, give me my phone back. And he says, what? I don't know where your phone is. Touch me.
To be fair, she has got long hair, so there's a good chance that maybe her hand was there and then boom, boom. Yeah, I can see that happening. But anyway, I also want to focus on how she's telling this story. Now, of course, I know when it comes to domestic situations, people can tell you something and it can still sound normal as hell, where it makes it harder for you to identify if anything had ever happened. But like I said before, I don't want to dig deep into that area just yet, because I feel like the information that we have at hand doesn't necessarily say that this is a situation of where, as if like they've had like an ongoing domestic situation. This is a situation where clearly these two had a dispute over a freaking vanity gift for their birthday, which is freaking wild. And in that situation, he decided to grab her phone, and then boom, bam, that happened. Again, he shouldn't have done it in the first place. You see what I'm saying? And even if the roles were reversed, I'll be saying exactly the same thing. You shouldn't do it in the first place. You see what I'm saying? I don't care the reasons why you wanted to grab her phone, but hey, because look at it this way, right? Let's just put it this way. He's kind of lucky that it was just her hair. Because imagine he's trying to grab her phone, she's tugging, he's tugging, and then she falls back, and then she lands on something, or he falls back, he lands on something. Next thing you know, we're hearing RIP. I'm just saying, those are things that can happen. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why really and truly people should not be trying to have certain fights or tug and wars in small environments or environments that has things around them, you know what I mean? If you're gonna do that, do it outside where there's nothing around, on grass, you know what I mean? That's why they do tug and war in mud or on grass for a reason, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless though, let's continue.
And so I started packing. He came out and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm packing because I'm leaving. And she used to listen to
This is not the first time Shekinah has spoke about packing because she's leaving. Yeah, and we know she didn't leave anyway, Busy's in the States now.
Now you don't listen to me. And he was saying, I want the old Shekinah back who used to listen to me in the beginning. I'm using my voice more because I'm realizing certain things are not okay. You know, shit all.
Let's talk about that bit, because when I first heard that bit of her saying that he was like, oh, I want the old Shekinah back, and she's like, well, I'm listening more and I'm using my voice. At first I was like, people can look at that and be like, yeah, he was definitely trying to control her, he was definitely trying to do this and that, but now she's got a voice. He's now gone to phase 2, where now he's going to try and silence her with physicality, blah 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 blah. But to be honest with you, if you remember at the tail of last season's Other Way, Shekinah made it abundantly clear that she likes her man to be masculine, she likes herself to be very submissive, she wants her man to tell her what to do. Okay, now again, we can track back and say that maybe at the time she was saying it because she was under his spell then. That I guess we don't know for sure, do you know what I mean? But I'm going to say personally that I don't think that she was on his spell back then. I'm going to say that when she said that, she was generally saying it because she meant it. But the only problem with Shekinah is that she says one thing, but then when you see her on screen, her attitude is a bit different to what she says. She's definitely a person that lacks balance, if you ask me personally, in terms of what she says and how she behaves. But either way though, let's continue.
Challenged it all. Twitter questioned, process what happened, and I'm alone with my dog.
Listen, at the end of the day, you know, I don't want to think that I'm sitting there trying to defend a situation, trying to defend somebody that could be a potential abuser in any kind of way. No, I'm just making it abundantly clear that I personally do not want to dive into that conversation straight away to say, hey, he's done this, he's done that, because I feel like, you know, especially for men, you know, it's easy for people to just say, oh yeah, he must be doing this, you know what I mean? When in reality, we can always look at things in different ways. We can look at things in terms of, okay, could have this been prevented, right? And I feel like when you leave it as a conversation of could have this been prevented, it kind of leaves it open to the fact that yes, this could have been a domestic situation, or it could have been a situation where he went too far and then an incident happened. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and I want to leave it in that kind of category there, rather than everybody be like, yeah, he's doing this, he's doing that, because I don't feel like I don't think it's nice to always just throw people under the bus straight off the bat, okay? We've got to see certain patterns first, and I'm going to say that really and truly, for me personally, I wouldn't say that I've seen enough patterns for me to believe that Sarper generally was trying to, or that he has been domestic or was trying to be domestic to her in any kind of way. I generally think that these two got into the heat conversation, and he's obviously trying to grab her phone for whatever reason, and then boom, bam, her hair is obviously got in the twist of things. And obviously the way she explains exactly how it was, and they both pretty much got the same story. You know what I mean? So the given the fact they both have the same story too, shows a lot of evidence that this was an incident that just caused an accident to happen. But again though, the main thing to learn from it is that it could have been prevented, and I hope moving forward Sarper decides to not do that error again. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if he does it again, well then at that point we're looking at it as domestic, and also at that point it depends on what injury would happen then. Do you know what I mean? But nonetheless though, let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions. And of course, if you decide to say, no, it is a domestic, so I'm not going to say you're wrong in any kind of way. You're entitled to your own opinions, you know what I mean? Because you may see things differently to me, which is completely fine. But nonetheless, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.